Hello, my sexy muffins, and welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to be doing SCP-096 X Blind Listener. It'll be headcanons and traits, and maybe a little scenario. Anyways, I hope that you are all having a great spooky month. As you know, spooky season starts at the beginning of September and goes all the way through November. Spooky month is specifically October, though, sometimes. Well, we're in October, so we're in the official spooky month. Anyways, let's do this. This is SCP 096X Blind Listener. Now, that is what we're going to be doing. Anyways, disclaimer. Disclaimer. SCP-096 is not Yandere canon. This is just for fun and not to be taken seriously at all. Simping for fictional characters and fictional yanderes is fine, just do not be illegal or gross about it. And remember to separate fiction from reality and headcanon from canon. Yanderes are not ideal partners to have in real life. And all that good stuff. And remember to separate fiction from reality and headcanon from canon. I cannot remember if I said that already. Anyways, let's do this. SCP-096. It would depend on how he would react to you being yandere for you as a yan, with what level blindness you're at. Now, some people can see, like, from example of YouTubers that I have followed on their shorts, can see through, like, this very narrow hole, but it's very blurry and all that stuff, and also very, very, very hard to see. But again, with SCP-0946 being 4 dang pixels, which means that in a photo that where SCP-096 came out and being seen just by 4 pixels of his figure, being seen microscopic almost, that they ended up having him basically be seen his face, and he does not like that. So I'm thinking the only way that a blind listener would work is if they're completely and utterly blind in the dark, cannot see at all. Basically, they have no eyes. Well, they have eyes, but they would have no eyes in their head. And that's how much they cannot see, because they would need to be completely blind to not be able to see 096 face in any photos. That's the only way this can work, so that is what we're going off by. SCP-096 would somehow sense that this person cannot see their face whatsoever, or see them, or anything of them whatsoever, or see anything at all. So this is how it would affect him being yandere. First of all, since he can sense that you can't see his face, somehow, like, he senses when people see his face, he would not be as upset with you looking in his direction. He would actually be pretty much curious, feeling your eyes on him, but knowing that you can't see him. It's this weird feeling for him, but it oddly puts him at ease, but also makes him a bit nervous. And furthermore, he knows that you can't see him, but also that you cannot see stuff, so he would be protective of you. Like when Josie came in and was on SCP-096 lap and he petted her, he got comfort from things like that. So in canon, basically, SCP-096 possibly could, well, somewhere in the multiverse, could like that he likes comfort and likes holding things that can't really see him when he had the bag on his head. So that is what we're going off of. So he would like to hold you and to keep you safe, but he also wouldn't want anyone to see his face. So if he somehow came across you, he would bury his face in your back and just hold you close to his body while he hides with you in his lap, more or less. He also would be super protective, so if anyone tried to take you from them, he might go into one of his rage states and end up killing the people around him without trying to show his face, of course. And also, he would very much be attached to you because you're the only person that can be around him and where he doesn't have to hide his face where he can be around you and you don't see him. And that makes him obsessed with you. Very much so. And he is never going to let that go. Now we are going to do a scenario of this. This is a scenario from my head. I did not write any notes out. So let's do it. Okay, you were walking through the street with your cane tapping on the ground. That's when you hear it screaming and a wailing noise. You are almost pushed to the ground as something runs past you at super speed. You try to gain your footing and tap your stick. You got turned around so you didn't know which direction you were going. You use your walking stick to find the best way. The wailing gets louder. You think you're going towards the thing. You should really turn around, but you couldn't stop now because you didn't know if you were in the street or where. You had to be careful. Using your remaining senses and using your cane, you were able to find your way back on the sidewalk when you hear crying. You are concerned for whoever is crying and start tapping, and then you feel it hit the bottom of some type of thing. You reach your hand out and gently tap at whatever it was. The skin was weird texture. You couldn't really describe it. It was almost slimy but still dry and flaky at the same time. It was a weird texture to say the least. You continue to feel it and it goes silent, tensing at your touch. It could feel you, watching it, looking at it, but it could also know that you didn't see it at all. You gently move your hand on it and feel its face. Tears were on its face. Hey, it's okay, there's no need to cry. You were unaware that this was an SCP that just ripped off the head and ripped apart into microscopic pieces of a person till there was nothing left. It's okay, you don't have to cry, you tell him, and sit next to him, holding his face in your hand. You realize how much taller he is and how lankier he is. It must be some weird dude or something, you think to yourself. You were completely blind from birth. You never really could see at all. Not anything. It was only what people you think would call black, like a black abyss. You never saw anything and you never even dreamed of seeing things. All you knew is that this person needed you, and you gently take their hand in yours. It's a really freaking big hand, but you didn't think any of it because you had nothing to compare it to. You hold their hand and tell them it's okay. Tell them about your day, how you lost your job, and that how you were having a hard time, but also that it's going to get better. That there's always, when God opens a door, closes a door, a window opens type of deal. You weren't very religious, but you also had faith that things would get better. You were unaware that this creature was staring at you and you were staring at its face. Not even knowing you were staring at its face. It was in awe of you. No one has been able to look at him and not show any reaction or even for him to sense that they have seen you, that you have seen them. Your eyes were a dull gray, but in wandered off every now and then, but he did not mind. To him, you were stunning. You talk to him some more, and then suddenly he growls. Well, not really a growl, it's more like a wailing growl. It's a very odd noise, and I'm not going to attempt to do it. When he hears the SCP Foundation nailing in, he pulls you to his chest and buries his face into your back, not letting you go from anyone around him. They all rush in and see what happened. They saw that you were looking at him and that he didn't do anything. This was a shock. You must be an anomaly yourself for this to happen, or were you an exception to the anomaly? Either way, they knew they were going to take you in with him. They all knew not to look at his face. None of them saw his face yet, so he wasn't in one of those states that he usually had. You are asking what's going on and curious, and one of the guards tell you that you were in the lap of an anomaly, something that wasn't human. You start to panic a bit and struggle in SCP-096's arm. Hey, let go of me, you say. Trying to get out of his arms, he grunts and holds you tighter, not wanting to let you go. You struggle more. Please do not struggle. You could risk our lives and the lives of anyone around you. You go still. You did not know what to do. You were scared and you were terrified. This day just went from bad to worse. You had hope that it would get better, but you now were trapped, and you had no idea what was going to go on. You were brought to the Foundation with SCP-096. It took a lot for him to let you go, and finally, and he started to sob once more, holding his hand in his face. I mean, holding his face in his hands as you were let out. They ran tests on you and realized you were completely blind, and that they finally learned that if someone is completely blind and not able to see anything at all, that they were able to look at SCP-096 and even put him into a somewhat calm state. Jack Bright comes down and looks at you. So, I know this is a lot to ask when you just, well, more or less got abducted, but how would you like a job? A job, you ask, looking at him, in his direction at least. He sounded like an excitable person, but also a gremlin type personality if it was anything to go by. Yeah, a job. We need someone to, well, handle SCP-096, and you're the only one that we ever confirmed that can see his face without, ending up being torn apart. You swallow hard. It was very uncomfortable thinking of the idea of working with that thing, but you didn't have a job, and also this is a secret organization that works outside the governments, all of the governments. It very well could end your life or keep you locked up as an anomaly yourself. You didn't want that to happen. I really don't have a choice, you say, looking at his direction. No, you really don't. So, what do you say? I guess I can do it. What's the procedure for everything? We're going to have to teach you the layout of the facility. God forbid a breach happens and you get unalived during it because you don't know where to go. You swallow hard. This was going to be a lifelong thing, and you knew that you were never going to be free from it. At least 096 won't be able to unalive you. That was one good thing. But what about the other things in the facility? What is going to happen to you? You have no idea. 096 was waiting for you to come back. He was eager to see you again, and if he couldn't see you soon, he might just break out of containment and hunt you down. You were his. Anyways, I hope that you all enjoyed this, and if you would like to see more, comment below what you would like to see, and I will do my best to do it. And I hope that you're all having a great spooky month. I know I am, and this is one of the spooky requests. Spooky month starts again from September and goes all the way through November, but this is official spooky month, which is full October. Anyways, I hope that you all enjoyed it once again. And Patreon outro. Thank you, Gav, for being my first patron. You are wonderful, beautiful, stunning, gorgeous. Yes, you are. Thank you, Gav, for being my first patron. And my Queen King's Majesty tier, Queen Gav, thank you. And thank you, Wicked Brony, for being in my Witches, Warlocks, and Sorcerer tier. And my second Patreon. You are fabulous, and you're also Witches, Wicked Brony, and I appreciate you. Thank you, Witches, Wicked Brony, or just thank you, Wicked Brony. Thank you, and I hope that you all enjoyed this. And if you would like to see more, comment below what you would like to see, and I will do my best to do it and all that jazz. And stay sexy, all my sexy muffins, and stay spooky, all my sexy spooky muffins. Bye-bye. Secret outro time, secret Oh, sorry, got a yawn during that. Secret outro time, secret outro time, secret outro time, secret outro, secret outro, secret outro. Now, if you were in this situation and you were completely blind, would you want to be in a relationship with SCP-096? Comment below what you would like to do. I probably would smash at the very least. Definitely smash. Anyways, I hope that you all enjoyed and stay sexy, all my sexy muffins. Bye-bye!